Hello, Don here. Welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery, where we're helping you get your practice to the $1 million mark or $2 million mark and beyond. I want to go over today. Once again, I'm preparing to do. There's Rich Dubin is doing a lower extremity review. There's a kind of a thing I'm going to be helping with a hybrid practice, and I'm kind of talking through the ideas here, but I want to help you and with what I'm going to be showing them. I'm going to talk about how to incorporate cash pay services and products. So in the previous episode, I talked about how to make insurance more profitable. And we've talked about, like, once you make the insurance the most profitable, right, then you can start incorporating cash pay services and products. Why do I think it's best to first make the insurance profitable? Well, it's something that you're already doing. It's kind of money that's being left on the table. And so if you do that properly, you're going to be able to get to a certain level in your practice. So fixing that problem is probably the first, right? Because if you try to fix too many things, you're going to have too many problems to fix at once. So once that is running smooth, then I would say, okay, well, how can you now incorporate cash services? So my first recommendation isn't to add a whole bunch of things, okay? I would recommend adding excellent things. And what I mean by that is things that you're proud to have, things that are excellent in terms of the technology or they really, really work well. And you have the ability to do it excellently. And this is one of the challenges, I think, with lots of technology that they try to sell us as podiatrists. I'm going to give you an analogy. A lot of us, when we were training in residency, we used new technology, let's say, a plate and screw system or a new system. And the reps were always there for the first 5 or 10 cases until we got used to using it. Once we got used to using it, we just kept using the same system because we were familiar with it. The struggle many times with adding new technology is that unless you go to a course and you get familiar with it, or unless you visit someone's office and they can teach you how to do it, you buy these things and you don't have a rep there with you to walk you through and how to explain it to patients, how to sell it to patients, how to do it, all these other things. And this can make it quite challenging for us. Okay, so the first thing would be making sure that you have that. I think in an ideal world, let's take a technology like Shockwave, you could have them let you use the machine, bring it to your office, you set up a number of patients, and then they kind of walk you through doing the technology, feeling comfortable doing it. Because you have to feel comfortable doing it, you have to feel comfortable with your results before you can actually feel comfortable selling it, okay, or offering it to patients, okay? So that's the first thing is add excellent new things. So excellent also, so I talked about the technology has to be excellent, your ability has to be excellent, but I think as well, it has to be excellent in terms of expensive. If you're going to add something, don't add something cheap. You want to add expensive cash pay things and products. Let me give you an example. When I first started, I had all these treatment sheets and I was talking about a ton of different types of treatments, and sometimes you can spend about 20 minutes talking about a $2 pad and why it's important, or a $65 pair of correct toes versus like an orthotic. And so what I've realized is I tend to give away the cheap things now, or have they can just get them if they want, but I spend my time talking about what's most profitable for the practice and what'll help them the most. So you want to offer things that are most profitable for you. Because we have a choice of what we talk about, and we only have so much time with the patients. So you really have to make use of your time with them, like in making it the most beneficial. So what are some of these cash services and products that you can offer that cost a lot? Now, cost a lot for the patients, but also cost a lot for you to invest in getting them. So if you buy these and don't use them, they're just kind of sitting around. So you have to learn how to do them. Okay, so Shockwave is one. Laser, whether it be fungal laser or pain laser, Swift, ToeFX, orthotics. So these are some of the cash pay things. And I think what I've seen is doctors buy these and then they just kind of sit in the room because they don't feel comfortable selling them. So if you're in this situation, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you. I think one of the challenges is what happens if it doesn't work. And you have to have kind of a plan. So let me give you a couple examples. For Shockwave, I do 6 sessions, and they pay a lot. They pay $250 a session. I see them back in 6 weeks and then 12 weeks. Now, if I need to do another additional Shockwave, I don't charge them. Okay, I don't. Because I just want to get them better, and I think it does work, and I believe in it, okay? Same thing with Swift. I do 4 Swifts. They pay $250 a session. And then if they need to do another Swift in the follow-up, I'll do it just like $100 versus the $250, and then I'll just bill a lesion destruction code, okay? So that's how I do it. So I have a plan, like if it doesn't work. So it usually does work, but if it doesn't, I have a plan. So I guess that would be the same with orthotics, right? If the orthotics aren't feeling comfortable on solving, you have to have a plan of adjusting them and things like that. So I think these are some of the things that we get tripped up on is, well, what happens if it doesn't work and you really don't have the confidence? If you do have the confidence, then there's no reason why you don't offer it to the patients. To get confident, I always think it's easier just to, for a limited time, offer it at a discount. So that's what we did with Shockwave. In the beginning, we charged $100, then $125, then $150, until we got more and more confident with the results. So you can do that with any other technology that you're starting out just to get comfortable. Next thing is to make sure you're confident and proud to offer it. So make sure it's something that really, really works. One thing I still struggle with, and I've told this multiple times, is with my fungal laser, I don't think it works all that great. So if I'm not proud about it, and if I'm not really confident that it'll work, more than like oral Lamisil or something like that, I have a hard time offering it. Okay, so just make sure you're checking your emotions with that. Another thing to incorporate, I think, is packaging everything. So try to package these types of treatments together. So as I mentioned before, patients tend to pay for 4 Swift treatments up front. So they're monthly. They pay for 4 of them. Now, if they get better faster, I will reimburse them if need be. I've never had to do that. But you can do 4 up front, and they get a 10% off. Same thing with Shockwave. They pay for the 6, and they get a 10% discount. And even if you package other things with it. So a lot of times with Shockwave, I'm doing an amnio at the 2nd visit and then orthotics at the 3rd. They can get 10% off all that. So that tends to be like about $300 to $360 off. So patients like to do that. Another thing that we package is, like I talked about before, my Pelto Special, which is like a night splint, foam rolling, and a morning stretch. Or my biotin with my shoe zap and my shoe spray. So all these things are kind of packaged together. So as many of these cash pay products as you can package together, it just works better. So I would really recommend you look at the top 10 diagnoses that you see, and then kind of put in, well, what are the cash pay and what are the other services that I can provide for these diagnoses, and try to package them. It just works a lot better. And then the last thing, as I mentioned before, as I was just saying that, is protocol everything. So make everything based on a protocol. Take the top 10 things. Okay, this is what we do first visit. This is what we do the 2nd visit. Makes it a lot easier, and just kind of stick with that and make sure the staff know that. So such as getting x-rays, post-op kit for every nail procedure, everyone that has dry skin and calluses, you're offering the callus cream and some type of skin cream. And these make differences that really make a big change in your bottom line. And recently, I was evaluating our numbers. So I took all of our year-end numbers, and these kind of sheets we get each month with the number of patients we saw, and I put it into ChatGPT. I've never done this before. This is the neat thing about ChatGPT, in my opinion. Put them in there, and I asked, hey, give me an analysis of like what is my actual cost to see each patient. Just like take all the overhead, take out the doctor's salaries and other types of 401k things, but take out that, and just all my expenses divided by the number of patients we saw in the year. Like I think it was like 5,000 patient visits, and what's the price? So it was $90. So what that means to me is we kind of have it's expensive, right, for us to see patients just to keep the lights on, but everything I do has to earn at least more than $90. So what it made me think of is if I'm charging $75 for callus care, I have to up it to at least $100, and everything either has to be in my 10-minute slots, which, I call my low-value patients, or if they have to be multiple patients one after another, like I do my routine days. But I may even stop doing certain things, like Onifix, for example. I think I charge $125, so there's really not much benefit. And some of these office visits and lower insurances, they don't even reimburse that much. So those are the things. So I think we talked today about this, how to incorporate cash pay services. If you found this beneficial, shoot me an email, don@podiatrypracticemastery.com. Also, I have a book that I put together. It's the $1 Million Practice Formula. If you want that, you can go to podiatrypracticemastery.com/book, and you can download it. and you can even apply for get an audit of your practice. I've done like 5 or 6 of those. It's been a lot of fun. So if you're interested in that, I think it would really help your practice. I guarantee that, with those, you'll get like a 10-time return on the investment for the audit in your practice. Okay. Once again, talk to you guys soon.